In this clip, we're going to work on the imperfection for the bass of our gramophone. So the first thing I will do is go ahead and create a new layer. And this layer is going to be just stains. Alright, so now that we have this, I will go ahead and add a fill. With this fill, what I want to do is basically play only with the color and the roughness. So I will disable the other channels. And for the color, what I want to do is basically take this to a black color, so it basically is a little bit of a dirt in top of it. And then for the roughness, I will just increase it just enough so it feels like not a perfect clear-cut layer. So now that we have this, what I want to do is go to our color blending mode and change this to multiply. And then I will change this to a value of something about 75. Alright, so you can tell that right now it's more like an opaque kind of wood. Alright, so now that we have this, actually I could decrease this a little bit more, maybe to a value of 25%. So now that we have this, what I want to do is create a mask. So I will hit this and create a mask. So then with this mask, what I want to do is add another fill. So this fill will fill actually the mask, and with this fill, what I want to do is on this gray value, I want to go in and add a grunge concrete old procedural. Alright, so let's add that procedural here. And here, having this, you can tell that now we have a little of these stains around here and there on our material, which is exactly what we want. We want to give a little bit of that wear to the wood material. However, this is not working quite well. So I will go ahead and hit Alt and click on my mask and start playing a little bit with this procedural. So the first thing I want to do is change the projection to triplanar, and this will give us a more organic result. Then what I want to do is decrease the balance so we have more of a contrast here, and then increase the contrast so we have more of a splotchiness. Then I want to change the UV scale to maybe 2, so it feels more all over the place. So right now, let's go back to our material and let's see what we get. So right now, it's feeling quite well. It's just a little detail of the stains. Then what I want to do is create another layer, and this layer will help us to create a little bit of scratches in top of the wood material. So I will go ahead and create a new layer. I will change the name to scratches. Alright, so now that we have this, I will repeat the same technique and I will fill this with a material. So I will add and drop a fill there. And for this fill, what I want to focus is basically on the color, on the height, and on the specular. So I will disable the other channels. For the color, I want to go ahead and pick a purely white color. And then for the height, I want to take it down to negative 0.025. Alright, so it's not that much, but it's going to be just enough to make the holes of the scratches. And then for the specular, I want to go and pick a black color. Alright, so now that we have this, I will go to the blending mode of this layer, and especially on the color channel, and I will go and pick the blending mode to be soft light. So right now we can see what it is doing all over the place, which is fairly good and working. So now, once I have this scratch working on, what I will do is I will go ahead and create a white mask. So with this white mask, what I want to do is bring a new basic fill. So I will go ahead and create a new fill. And in this fill, what I want to do is add a grunge scratches instead of old concrete. So let me go back here, scratches. And then I will pick this one that is the darkest one. So as you can tell, right now it has applied a little bit of the scratches. However, at this moment we need to modify this a little bit. The first thing that you want to do is change this to triplanar again, so it feels organic. And then once we have this as a triplanar, I want to change the UV scale to maybe a value of 3. So this will give us a little bit of a smaller scratches. Then what I want to do is go to our scratch quantity and then decrease the value to 0.6. So we have a little bit of less scratches there. So as you can tell, this layer is quite well working. Now we add a little bit of scratches so we can check all of our channels, and they are working quite well. So we can see it here on our texture color. It is basically working really solid. So now let's go and create a couple of extra things here. So the first thing I want to do is create a new layer, and this new layer are going to be just the legs for our base of the gramophone. So now that we have this, what I will do is go to our shelf. I will go and look for a smart material, and I will look for a steel gun material. And I will drop this one that says steel gun painted in top of that one. So this will generate that one. Actually, I could get rid of this layer, and I will modify the name of these two legs. And now that we have this, I will go ahead and create a black mask. With this black mask, we can go and add an effect, and this is going to be the add color selection. And with this add color selection filter applied to it, I will go ahead and pick the green color on the legs of this. So as you can tell, these legs has been masked, and now we have this metal material for the legs. And then the next step I want to do is add a rust layer in top of everything. So what I will do is I will go to our materials, and I will type here rust, and I want to use a fine rust. So I will go ahead and drag this layer here. Alright, so I drop that rust fine in top of here, and as you can tell, it's not working quite well. So the first thing I will do is go to our properties tab, and I will change the projection to 3planar. Then I will change the UV scale to something about 4, so we have this fine rust all over the place. And then I will go ahead and change this to a more blackish color, because I want to have this kind of dustish color all over the place. Alright, so now that we have this, what I want to do is add a mask. So I will come here, white mask, and this will generate our mask, and then I will create a new generator. So with this new generator, what I want to do is I will go and pick this dust generator or dirt generator, and I will sit here on our mask, hitting Alt on my keyboard and picking our mask. With this one here, what I want to do is create a little bit of different output here. So I will select my generator, and then what I want to do is decrease the edge masking, so I start to increase a little bit the levels there, and then I want to basically decrease a little bit the levels and increase the contrast, so we have a little bit more into the borders of this texture. So let's go back to our material and see what we get. So we should get just the borders and the edges of this a little bit dirty. So that's kind of a little bit of an ambient occlusion there, which is just basic dust. So let me just move our camera a little bit here and enable and disable that so we can see a little bit of the difference. So as you can tell, we just basically make this wood material feeling a little bit more old and with a little bit more of wear.